findings of the research that we conducted. So, in order to comply or to address the mandate of the Philippine government about RA 10173. So we conducted a research taking a look into how are we going to be able to make our technology secure in St. Paul University, Quezon City. So once again, when we talk about technology security, we are addressing, or we would like to focus on the following. So the 5 areas, we have the physical, we have the information security, software security, user access security, and network security. So it has been said that computer security and ethics are related in the sense that the observation of established computer ethics will lead to increased computer security. So ethics for computers is used to describe the philosophical principles of rights and wrongs in relation to the use of computers. Computer security, on the other hand, refers to the security or lack of security of both personal and commercial computers. So that's why if we look into the security of the technology in a particular organization or as a whole, ethics is always related to that. So we have this questionnaire which we base from the National Center for Education Statistics. So this list of items that we need to check regarding those category earlier that was mentioned is used by the US and the other nations in order to collect, analyze, and report data related to education. So we adopt that list of items in checking where are we in terms of implementing, in terms of observing those different items. So we started with the key offices in the organization which holds the confidential data. So such as the registrar's office, the office of the deans, the office of the vice president for academics, and the like. Those offices that keep confidential data. So once again, we would like to find out what particular item from the list. The reason why we have introductory security is that we would like to look into what does our specific organization need to focus into when it comes to securing our technology. So that's why we have also a list of items which we categorize, or we have called as introductory security. So based on this one, we will know what are the specific needs or what are the specific items that need to be addressed in the organization. So in the physical security, so we would like to check whether the building and the equipment is protected. It's part of the list. So to summarize the list of the items that we have in this category, so it talks about the reliable power supplies, the adequate climate control, and appropriate protection from intruders. So for the information security, we would like to talk into how the employees value confidentiality and how do they give importance to creating and using their username and passwords when entering into the system. So for the software security, so we would like to check whether they are aware if the software that are installed in our computers are licensed And we would like to find out whether they are aware as well if the system that we are using is controlled by the ICT, or the Information and Communications Technology Office. For the network security, we would like to know whether they are aware or they know, or in their end, how do they look into the access points in the system that they are using in their respective offices. Is it secured? Are restricted sites blocked? The cabling and wiring are secured. So these are the findings. So for the introductory security, we would want to give emphasis, or we would like to address the following, because these items from the list of items that they rated got the rating that is towards the lower scale. So meaning to say, it's either they are not sure whether this is being implemented, or they are totally not aware. So staffs, so for this one, got a rating that is towards the lower side of the scale. Staffs receive security training tailored to their needs. Security issues are included in the employee performance reviews. Security policies are reviewed annually at the minimum. Security activities are monitored. A security breach response is in place. That's under the introductory security. For the physical security, so we would like to focus on this one in terms of creating the policies and rules and regulations. Equipment are housed out of sight and reach from doors. Up-to-date records of all equipment, brand names, and serial numbers are kept in secure location. Security staffs are required to maintain a log of all equipment taken in and out of secure areas. Uninterruptible power supplies are in place for critical systems. Information security, we have magnetic media that contain sensitive information property are cleaned before reuse or disposal. Backups of critical software and information are maintained in secure facilities at an off-site location. For the user access security, so the opening screen is clear and specific about the organization's expectations of the users. The opening screen as well requires the user to accept the conditions of monitoring and punishment before proceeding. The system admin changes all preset and packaged passwords. Network security, staffs communicate security concerns immediately. All system access points are secured. All cabling and wiring are secured. Restrict sites are blocked by the firewall. Devices can freely connect to the SPUQC network from the outside. Downloading of movies from torrent sites are accessible or are possible. So what are the implications of the study that we have? So we all know that many schools, school districts, state education, agencies and colleges and universities now use technology to manage student, staff, and administrative records. The safeguarding electronic information is not as simple as assigning a technical staff person to verify that the system is protected. So the top-level administrators should invest time and expertise to develop a well-conceived, comprehensive, and customized security policies. Commitment and authority is required for the top administrator to implement the policies to the entire organization. So this research would want to convey that increasing information security is both necessary and achievable task, and it is a must to do for organizations as well as the right thing to do for students, parents, staffs, and communities. So since we already have a policy in place, but as part of our recommendation, we would like to conduct technology security awareness to stakeholders, retrain and train the staff of all the employees, review and update. So since we have a lot of changes in our information technology, so we also have to update the existing policies and procedures just to comply with the RA 10173 and other technology security policies and procedures, and consider a privacy impact assessment to information systems to test the integrity and confidentiality of the information. So it has been said that the same technology that can be the source of so much concern when in the hands of untrained users can actually be used to protect information more securely than ever before imaginable if it is used wisely. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamami.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Tomomi Watanabe, Nanron University of Science and Technology, Department of Applied Japanese Assistant Professor. And this is my first English presentation. My major is Chinese literature, 3. This is my first biological present. Can please on death row organ donors, considering some cases in China and Taiwan. Organ transplantation is legal in the United States, but in 2011 and Oregon, this law inmate named Christian Logo Costa Star when he mounted an aggressive behind bars campaign to donate his organs after execution, and the campaign was featured in New York Times. His request to drop his appeals in exchange for being allowed to donate organs was denied from the viewpoint of morality and ethics, after all. In China, organ transplantation from death row inmates had been performed until it was legitimated in 2015, and the same thing had been happened with Taiwan in 2014. I'm going to introduce the background of the law, legal change, and what we can learn from it. China has never enacted a fundamental law concerning plant donation from death row inmates. However, the Supreme People's Court of the People's Republic of China and the Supreme People's Procurator of the People's Republic of China issues the Act of Temporary Measures concerning the usage of death row inmates' bodies and organs in December 1984, which allowed organ donation from death row inmates on the following conditions. One, the inmate has no relative to claim his or her body. Two, the inmate relatives refuse to claim his or her body. Three, the inmate spontaneously offer his or her organ. Four, the inmate relatives gave their consent to others. The number of donors is estimated smaller than that of patients who need organ transplants in China, and that is one reason why this low-image organs have been needed, and conclude. As many researchers refer, Chinese people have been reluctant to donate their organs by ideological reasons. According to Zhou's research, a father of Jiangsu farmer named Mr. Fu committed suicide, claiming that the court sold his son's body to a hospital without agreement in May 2000. In September of the same year, a mother of a death row inmate named Yu Yonggan from Taiyuan City, Shanxi, claimed that her son's organs had been taken by the hospital and the court. In 2009, Huang Jiefu, the head of Ministry of Health of the People's Republic of China, reported that 65% of organ donors were death row inmates. This number was bigger than forcing and ethics as well as jurists all over the country spoke their various opinions until the designation in 2050. The pros are: 1. The petition's interests and the effective utilization of the organs. 2. Organ donation as opportunity of the immense good deed or redemption. 3. Respect for the death row inmate decisions. The cause are: 1. Effect compulsion. 2. Medical practitioners' negligence. 3. Humanistic issues. 4. Increasing frequency of death sentence. In Taiwan, Dr. Zhu Shuxun, the chair of the Transplantation Society of Taiwan, worried about the shortage of organs for donation and forced Ministry of Justice to change the law concerning death row inmates. Organ donation in 1990. Result: the law was revised so that it can permit death row inmates to offer their organs if they and their spouse or relation in the third degree sign the letter of consent in August of the same year. The first organ transplantation was performed at Chang'an Hospital in Kaohsiung County on December 15, 1990, which sparked great controversy in Taiwanese society. The controversy became greater than death row inmates come back to life at the hospital after execution January 1991. Furthermore, a foreign human rights organization launched a protest in November and December 1991. Taiwan Neurological Society as well as Taiwan Society of Anesthesiologists also launched a protest against organ donation from death row inmates because the determination of death at execution differs from general brain death criteria. Moreover, some domestic human rights organizations asserted abolition of capital punishment and the ban of death row inmates organ use. In 2014, organ donation from death row inmates became illegal. However, this fact has not permitted the whole country, and the organs of the Taipei subway phantom attacker named Zhong Jie drew people's attention when he was executed in May 2016 after this sentence for murder. Therefore, Li Bojian, the chair of National Health Insurance Administration, had to make an official statement that organ transplantation from death row inmates was banned 2 years before. Opinions of the supporters and objectors of internal organs use of the death row inmate are so different between Taiwan and China. But the scale is larger in Taiwan than China. Is it possible for these row inmates to donate their organs? Isn't death penalty retribution? Do we have to give them the right to do that which might lower their fear of death or lower deterrence capability of death sentence? About Longo's case, author Kaplan says that being an organ donor isn't right but a gift, and that prisoners on death row don't have the right to be organ donors. Maybe we can say that is a common public opinion, as Tsai Fu-chan and Wang Shuishan find Kaplan's reference valuable when they consider death row organ donation matter in Taiwan. What we can learn from those cases of Taiwan and China. The problem is they needed to use the death row inmates' organs because of the shortage of organ donation candidates. Their people became distrustful of organ donation from death row inmates because, as human rights organizations say, prisoners' rights should be protected to start with. In my opinion, death row inmates' offer of organ donation should be embraced if we have the strict law, respects the inmate's free will, and the organs have no health problem, because the inmates have the right of self-determination. I think it's possible for prisoners on death row to be organ donors on the condition that they are respected as human beings and that we keep the system as the procedural equality right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very important topic. Are there any questions? So I'm interested that you said you think the problem is more in Taiwan than in China. In mainland China, the execution of political prisoners and organ transplantation by order for commercial services is widely reported. So followers of Falun Gong, for example, and in fact, we had a workshop in February this year in London, a USN workshop talking about this. And last year in Japan Association of Bioethics session, we also had a session on this. So what is the number per year in Taiwan of executed prisoners whose bodies are used for organs? Do you have an idea, the number?
田辺先生、今ちょっと大変なことが今起こっておりますよ。2014年で中止されたんですけど、その3回、1991年の段階を亡くなった治験をした後に、搬送されて戻されて、でそれで社会的な問題になって一時中止。で2014年に完全に中止されて、それからやってない。それ以前は、
So the practice has been banned in 2014.
なので問題になった90年代中盤から2000年まではやってないと思うんですけど、私も数字まできちんと知らない。
She can't answer the figures, the exact figures. So, but in 1991 there was some problem, and then so since then there are many criticism about this practice. But maybe before that, in the 90s there are some practices.
Yeah.
90年前は調べて大きい問題として出てくるのは一番最初に具体的な数字をちょっと今度はあった気もし
Maybe she needs to check. She doesn't have exact numbers.
Yeah.
Of the process.
Yes, thank you, because it may be, the official number may be different. Some of it may be hidden, as in mainland China. It's sort of a hidden number. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
中国はとても多いし、中止はされたんですけど、去年やっぱり死刑囚の臓器を使って人民解放軍の偉い人が息子を助けたいから死刑判決が出ててまだ白か黒かはっきりしてない人間をさっと死刑にしてその臓器を使ってそうですね2014年中止されてるけど結局権力者が使ってる可能性が
She said in mainland China, it's also in China it was also banned, but she found one interesting case in which there's some guy sentenced to death. His organ was used for some son of one of the top generals.
Yeah.
So she said maybe there are some political hierarchies or political hierarchical guys might be using this kind of stuff.
I want to hold the next seminar here, the 12th round, Bioethics Roundtable. So thank you very much, all the participants and all the staffs. And goodbye for the present. And we hope all of you join the next roundtable. Thank you very much.